Thank you. About 9 months ago, Tara called me and said, put May 3rd on your calendar. I said, okay, because I do whatever Tara tells me to do. Every time that I have either seen her, texted with her, talked to her, between then and now, is May 3rd on your calendar. And I can see why, because what an incredible organization Job Train is, and I've met some of the people that are going through the training now, and those of you that have graduated from the training, and what an outstanding organization. Can we give you guys a round of applause? Well, there are 3 things I want to share with you today that have really helped me in my life, and I hope that it will help those of you that are currently going through the training. And the first thing is to always be yourself. The second is to have a vision for where you want to go. And the third is to embrace those obstacles that come into your life, because believe me, we all have a lot of them. I'm facing a huge obstacle right now at the University of San Francisco. I took over a program that was, below the surface. Completely terrible. It's the challenge of my life. But first, in being yourself, how many of you guys remember when you were just a little kid, maybe 5 years old, what you wanted to be when you grow up? Does anyone remember? Kind of shaking your head. Yeah, that's the question we ask 5-year-old kids, right? What do you want to be when you grow up? And a lot of times it's Joe Montana, or it's I want to be a doctor, or it's all these great things, right? When I was a kid, I wanted to be a forest ranger. I grew up in East Tennessee, as Tara said, and I don't know where that came from. But back in Tennessee, they had Career Day, and they invited all the parents to come and see what their kids were, dreaming about becoming. And as the teacher went around the room, one by one, the kids are saying all these great things. My mom's sitting in the back of the classroom with me, and the teacher said, well, Jennifer, what do you want to be when you grow up? I don't know what happened in that moment, but I said I want to become a nurse, because nurses can help people, and I had a 5-minute answer as to why I wanted to become a nurse. So my mom's sitting in the back of the room. Okay, she's 5, she changed her mind. We got home later that evening, and she said, congratulations. And I said, what for? And she said, because you're going to become a nurse, that's great. And I said, Mom, I don't want to become a nurse. I told my mom everything. And she said, well, I don't understand, why would you lie to the entire classroom? And I said, because Mom, you and I both know that girls can't be forest rangers. I had a list of things that girls were supposed to be, another list of things what boys were supposed to be, and my mom gave me the most valuable lesson that I've ever received at the age of 5. She looked at, when your mom looks at you like that, she looked at me and she said, I don't want to ever hear you say anything like that again. Don't ever let anything or anybody limit you. It doesn't matter if you're white, you're black, you're gay, you're straight, it doesn't matter. Don't ever let anything limit you. At the age of 5, I had already kind of gone away from what I really wanted to do and become. One of the great things about this organization is that you guys have a chance to become whatever it is you're meant to become. I think we're all brought to this world to do something great, and all of us have a chance to do that and fulfill what I think we're really meant to become. First thing, be yourself. Second, have a vision for where you want to go. I learned a lot about vision from Tara Vanderveer. As she said, back in the day, all of you guys know Stanford as being, a great program. It was terrible. I don't know how many wins they had before our recruiting class got in, but we were 500 my freshman year. And I'll never forget one of my first games. I'm in Maples Pavilion warming up for the game. The 20-minute timer's ticking down, and I'm so excited. And I hit one of my teammates. I said, hey, when do the fans get here? And she said, fans, like it was a foreign word. And she said, we don't have fans. I said, you don't have fans? Tara didn't tell me that on my recruiting visit, by the way. She said, we're lucky if friends and family come. They didn't even, and at that time they had bleachers in Maples, and they didn't even pull the bleachers out. That was it. But I don't blame people, because we weren't good. I probably wouldn't have come to see us play either. But I remember, contrast that with Tennessee. We had 10,000 people at our state tournament games in high school. So, this was a big difference for me. But I remember after one of our many losses, I was in Maples Pavilion just kind of by myself thinking, what in the world am I doing here? I could have been at the University of Tennessee. I could have been at a winning program. And Tara happened to still be there. And I will never forget that she came out and she stood beside me. And she said, Jennifer, I know this is hard for you, but I want you to see my vision. I want you to look around this arena. And I said, yeah, Tara, it's empty. It was empty for our game. It's still empty. And she said, I want you to see this place sold out, packed, full of fans. and I want you to see us winning the national championship by your senior year. Can you do that? Now, I thought, this woman is crazy. But there was a part of me that I did see it. And she said, I need you as a leader to see this. We're going to work as hard as we can as a staff. We're going to recruit great players, but I need you to see this. And I said yes. And within 3 years, we all worked so hard. We were selling out Maples Pavilion, and we won the national championship by my senior year. And the irony that Tara talked about is we did it at the University of Tennessee. And, Tennessee was not in it, so that was a good thing. But it's the power of a vision. I think most people are afraid to take those chances. Tara took a chance coming to a place, people said, believe it or not, people said you couldn't win at Stanford. She came from Ohio State across the country, and it was her vision. I was a player there, and I worked, but it was her vision is what started the success and has sustained. Do you know how hard it is to sustain the success that she has sustained over these years? It's unbelievable. And thank you, Amy Tucker, who's sitting over here, who recruited me to Stanford. Thank you. So be who you are, have a vision for your life. And lastly is embrace obstacles that come your way, which I know a lot of you already have done. I tried out for the Olympic team in 1992. I'd been a starting guard on the World Championship team, had all this success, and was in line to not only make the team, but to probably start on the team. So back then, they invited about 200 athletes to go to Colorado Springs to try out for the Olympics. And it's kind of like American Idol. Like every couple of days, they just send people home. And so I made it down to the last 15. And I felt like, I had people telling me, congratulations, you're going to be an Olympian. And wow, this is great. And I actually felt pretty good. I even slept that night. And the way that it worked was they kind of called us one by one to go down and talk with the coach to see if we'd made the team. So I got the phone call. I, walking kind of proudly down the hallway, and I opened the door. And as soon as I saw her face, I knew that I was cut. And I was the last player that was sent home from the Olympic trials. And it was really, really devastating for me. From a very young age, I wanted to be an Olympian, probably like everybody else in the room. But it was very, very difficult. I had the opportunity. I didn't think I'd ever even play again, but I had the opportunity to go back 4 years later and try out again for the 1996 Olympic team. And I'm telling you, that was the hardest thing that I've ever done, was to go back and put myself in the same situation again, because do you know how many great players there are? I could have been cut at any moment at that time too. And the reason I'm sharing this with you this morning is it's that second chance. It's that second chance. It's that opportunity that you've got to take advantage of. No matter how scared you are, you've got to take advantage of those opportunities. So this time I did make the team. And I was part of one of the greatest women's basketball teams that was ever put together. We were the group that kind of helped start the WNBA, the ABL, to have professional sports in the United States. So not only was it about being on the Olympic team, it was about a movement for women and women in sports. It was an incredible opportunity, but if I hadn't said yes to going back and facing my fear, I never would have been a part of that incredible, incredible experience. And the real irony is the 92 team won a bronze medal. In 96, we won the gold. And so I often think that sometimes when you look at life and those times that you kind of you mess up, you think maybe it was your one shot at it. Maybe that was just your bronze. And your gold medal lies in another opportunity. So I congratulate all of you that have gone through the job train program, that are currently in the program, for taking and seizing those opportunities, because you're where you're meant to be now. And those of you that are in the culinary arts, I'm a big fan. I hope some of you can maybe come and make up some of your special dishes for me, because it's honestly, it's one of my favorite professions. I wish it's something that I could do, because I love to eat really good food. But thank you all very much for having me here. And Tara, thanks so much for inviting me 9 months ago and continuing to talk about it, because what a fabulous organization. So thank you very much.